All right, welcome to yet another fabulous Sunday night news and nonsense. How you doing, Toss?
Terrific, Spatry. I have some late breaking news. I just got word from Hollywood there is going to be a sequel to the zombie movie World War Z. Now, a few spoilers here. It's going to star all those people waiting in line for the iPhone. Now, here's now he- here's the spoiler. The vaccine is embedded inside a Galaxy S4.
Well, along that same vein, um, a lot of people are asking, did iOS 7 steal ideas from Android? And it's really funny here because I'm reading the article and I'm looking at some of the things that iOS 7 now has. It has an Android looking notification bar. And then, of course, it has Google Music and that sort of thing. So funny that you brought that up, eh? It kind of pseudo has an Android look and a touch of a Nook look, too. Because of
Well,
the light colors and everything. Yeah, it kind of looks like they robbed a little bit out of Ice Cream Sandwich and the Nook.
Well, from what I read, I haven't physically looked at it, but aren't there like some bugs, some rather annoying bugs, that made iOS 7 not quite ready for prime time, Spatry?
I don't know. I didn't see that in the news at all.
I should have wrote this down, but there was one or two things on there I can't quite remember. But all I remember reading it, I'm like, oh, that's gonna tick off a lot of people. But that's the last thing I remember.
Yeah. All right. Well, as you know, this week LinuxCon was going on, and there's a number of things that happened during LinuxCon. One thing that caught a lot of people's attention is the fact that Linus Torvalds mentioned that he doesn't work anymore. He just he
Duh.
doesn't. Yeah, he just merges other people's work and that sort of thing. And then in other news at the LinuxCon, there are Linux defenders who are looking at dangerous patents. Now, Ars Technica has an illuminating article about a group called Linux Defenders. And the job of Linux Defenders is to carefully wade through thousands of software patents and identify those that might pose a threat to open source or Linux. Now, in a session at LinuxCon, Linux Defender Director Andrea uh, Kazilis, I believe, and if I mispronounce your name, I apologize. Well, she explained how the group is using rights granted by the new law to fight patent applications. A project of the Open Innovation Network, Software Freedom Law Center, and the Linux Foundation. Linux Defenders examines the 6,000 new patent applications published each week, attempting to identify those that are potentially threatening to Linux and open source. Then the group looks for prior art that would invade at least some of the claims in the patents. So this is really great news because a lot of people are in fear of making new software in fear that they are going to be violating patents. So this is a wonderful thing. How do you see that, Toss?
Well, we have talked about, patents and patents disputes in the past that tend to turn out to be ugly, but this is actually just the opposite. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think this is a wonderful thing. Because we're always hearing flaming back and forth. These companies trying to do each other in. All these
Yes.
patent trolls and everything. And so now we've got people that are actually monitoring what people are putting out. Because come to think of it, I think Microsoft tried to throw one of Torvald's ideas back at him, stating, that, Torvald stole Microsoft's idea, and they were able to actually pull up some old forum posts and be able to prove that it was indeed Torvald's idea and not Microsoft's idea in the first place. And he's like, go away. I don't want to hear this. So exactly.
Well, what can I say? I have a couple more smartphone news items. You may have heard that Blackberry Boy, BlackBerry, once the media darling of the mobile media market, was it really just a short 10 years ago where BlackBerry was the man or the company?
Yeah.
They are, yeah. Well, they've lost another $1 billion. They're going to lay off thousands of workers. Now, this is one. A couple of years ago, Spatry, I was talking to a BlackBerry representative, a fine young man, and
Yeah.
he showed me, yeah, and he showed me the new BlackBerry product at the time, a BlackBerry tablet called the Playbook, if you remember it.
No, but the thing is, I have seen a lot of BlackBerry devices. I think they're well built and they're very nice. And I
Okay.
know a lot of professionals, office professionals, would carry them.
Briefly, this device at the time I thought was nice. It felt good in my hand. 7-inch, nice screen at the time, dual cameras, high def, flash support, but $500 and it doesn't have Android. So I told the dude, look, this is nice, but it's $500 and it doesn't have any Android. He says, no, 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 but this will sell because this will sync with your BlackBerry phone. Okay, so the BlackBerry smartphone is $200 and it still doesn't have Android. I couldn't get it through his head that this is going to go nowhere. Sadly enough, 2 years, actually less than 2 years later, BlackBerry is done. Not, you think they would have got the hint when nobody wanted the Playbook, not because it was a bad hardware item, but it just didn't have the apps. If it had Android, I think it would have sold fine. Maybe not at $500, but the sad thing is now you can get a Playbook on Amazon for as little as $100, and probably root it or add some Android
Yeah.
apps, and it's a perfectly fine machine. So it's rather sad.
And it seems like, this is like a scenario, with the Mir project, for instance, from Ubuntu, and that is not getting a whole lot of support right now because everybody's leveraged so much of their resources into Wayland, and a lot of people are upset that Ubuntu decided to just branch off and do their own thing. So is this going to be really good or not? I even had somebody ask me what my impressions on that were, and I says, I think a lot of people who are making Ubuntu-based distributions may jump and go over to Debian. So are they making the right decision? I don't know. Is this something that's parallel to what happened with the BlackBerry? And they're starting to sink. But I can tell you where the $1 billion from BlackBerry went. Our next article, IBM is to invest $1 billion into Linux. IBM is investing $1 billion in new Linux and open source technologies for IBM's power system servers. IBM says in a statement that the investment will help clients capitalize on big data and cloud computing with modern systems built to handle a new wave of applications coming to the data center in the post-PC era. This is magnificent news. So now we're starting to see more money coming into Linux. That means more users, more technologies. This is wonderful news.
Yay, Linux. Hey, what can I say? Android, a form of Linux, of course, very popular. I use various forms of Linux, including Ubuntu and Linux Mint. So yeah, I think Linux in general has a very bright future.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, this week, Gabe Newell, the of Valve or Steam, he may possibly be announcing plans about what's coming up with the Steam box, possibly next week. But he had a nice speech video, and it's on YouTube. Just do a search for it. Just do a search for Gabe Newell on YouTube and just do a search for long videos, and it'll be one of the first two results. Linux is the future of gaming, and that is the quote from Gabe Newell. The words were loud and clear during the keynote speech that the CEO of Valve Software made at the Linux Foundation 2013 North American LexCon event. And as we all know, now Gabe is not a huge fan of closed systems. One of the core problems was, of course, Windows. And we all know how he felt about Windows 8. And, of course, during his speech, he had stated that, he wanted to be polite about it and that sort of thing. And he did a nice job about that. But he really gave a nice explanation of things that, he's seeing with Linux, and that he really believes that is the future for gaming in the PC ecosphere. And I'm really hoping that and I just have a stinking thinking feeling there that that he's going to really be pushing that Steam box hard. It's going to be Linux powered, but most importantly, he wants to get the computer on your living room sofa, and this is the way to do it, I think.
Well, now that I got my, Linux drivers, video drivers working, I may give a shot a few more, take a crack at a few more, Linux games and see how they look. So why not?
Absolutely, and the thing is, I know you're running. You stated that you're running Manjaro, and I recommend that you dual boot it with one of your computers that has the ATI driver, and try that Manjaro hardware detection tool. That has got to be the coolest feature I have ever seen on an up-and-coming Linux distribution. I've seen Manjaro mature from 2 years ago when it just started out as a newbie on Arch, but you're still going to need to use the command line installer because the graphical installer isn't working. But once you get it installed, this has got to be the most user-friendly distribution I have ever used in terms of getting your hardware and everything set up. So you really got to give it a shot. And as a matter of fact, I'll be doing a video on this probably either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, where I'm actually going to demonstrate it in action so that people can really see, because this is one thing that I never covered about Manjaro, and this is one of its strongest features that really makes it user-friendly.
Cool. All right. Are you ready for some nonsense?
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Thank you for the intro. But last week, let's see, I believe in Nebraska, there was a police car chase.
I'm sorry.
Here's the kicker, Patrick. The police car, the police car was stolen by a policeman. Now, how exactly does a police officer steal a police cruiser? That's like saying a fireman steals a fire truck. Isn't it like their truck or their vehicle?
Well, maybe he was off duty.
It could be, but it just sounded kind of silly that a police. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. But anyway, that was my thought. Oh, really? Okay, but yeah.
So did they put him on house arrest or?
I never went past the laughter. I just thought that headline was pretty funny.
Okay. What else?
The niece of Vice President, Biden, apparently got busted for slapping a police officer. I'm not sure what. Yeah, this is true. I'm not sure what happened, but I don't think I've ever heard anything like this before. This must be kind of embarrassing for the VP, who's one step away from the presidency. It's funny, but I'm sure to the family and to the VP, it's probably not funny. But I just thought I mentioned it because that's something I've never really read before.
Yeah, that is kind of odd. Yeah.
Yeah. HTC, I guess HTC, I guess smartphones are getting bigger. Before they were too big, now they're too small, but now they're getting bigger. I guess HTC is going to come out with their own big, smartphone. Now this has really got to tick off a lot of, marriages, a lot of couples, because ladies, that bulge you see in your boyfriend's pants, it's a smartphone. It's not that he's happy to see you.
What?
Phones are getting bigger, and where does it stop? Isn't there the Samsung Mega that's over 6 inches?
Yeah, but let me ask you, why would a guy want to shove their phone in their pants?
I put my Galaxy S4 in my side pocket in my pants. Why not?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, never mind.
Where is it? This is a family shield in your pocket,
Well, I mean, back when we were teenagers, that's where we used to put our
oh, stop it.
Tobacco that was in a sandwich bag. Yeah.
Stop it. Oh boy. And for the last piece of that's okay. We all know where Spatry's mind is at. It's with Manjaro Linux, isn't it? Yeah, right.
Absolutely, yeah.
The last piece of this is kind of more wow, the nonsense. But we talked about games briefly, but Grand Theft Auto 5,
Yeah,
the latest, passed in 3 days the $1 billion mark in sales. I don't have the
really.
game, but yeah, that's a lot of sales. Look, I think it's wonderful that a Disney family game can appeal to. Oh, wait a minute, that's a different game. That's disgusting that this game sold that many in 3 days. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5, $1 billion in 3 days. I will not be rushing out to buy one.
What is it called? Is it called Vice City or no?
Just Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay, mixed results for Grand Theft Auto 4. A lot of people said it didn't work well, but it looks like
5,
the
yeah, 5.
but Grand Theft Auto 4, it looks like it had silver and gold rankings. And well, I don't know yet. Well, that's something we'll just have to see how it plays out. I guess it's too new to
Yeah,
have, you know, um,
yeah.
to have any tests on wine yet.
Well, I'm just hoping next year when Halo 5 comes out that the Master Chef, I mean the Master Chief will kick its butt.
Do you know what the system requirements on that is? That if that is a DirectX 9 game, it'll probably run just fine on wine, because we have problems with running DirectX 10 and 11 games presently.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, it's been optimized for the Xbox. I think it's going to be available for the new Xbox One. I would imagine, but I don't know the other requirements for it. No.
All right, cool. All right, well, take us out.
Well, that's all we have for tonight's Cine Report, the Sunday night news and nonsense. Thanks everybody for listening here in the listening room on the linuxdistrocommunity.com. You can join for free if you like and listen in, or maybe even contribute as a special guest. Who knows? Just go to linuxdistrocommunity.com. Please check out Spatry's channel, Spatry's Cup of Linux, for terrific tutorials, and of course my channel, Total OS Today. As always, thank you for watching and listening, and we'll catch you next Sunday night. So, Spatry, say ciao.
Goodbye.
Ciao. You are the worst co-host I have ever.
I love you too, Toss.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.